This week I've been looking at the single-player demo of the action RPG Hellgate London. The premise runs a little something like this. Throughout history, demon hordes have been held at bay by the Templars with high-level combat skills, specialised weapons and arcane knowledge. But the Templar orders themselves were eventually purged by the king, jealous of their power, and so the demon invasion of 2033 found Londoners who, technologically advanced as they were, had forgotten the more mystical ways of their forebears and were unprepared to fight this sinister foe. Now it's 2038, London is in ruins and no aid has come. Players must try to work out what has happened and to close the gate between their world and hell. You can play either as a Templar, a sword wielder, a hunter, gunman, or a Kabbalist, a magic user. There are 2 subclasses to each. For example, the Templar class has Blade Masters with better offensive stats and Guardians designed more for defence. The demo can be played as a Blade Master Templar or a Marksman Hunter, and these do both have a very different feel, not least because of the different default perspectives, third person for Templars and first for Hunters. Which brings me to one of the big initial appeals of the game. It crosses 2 very popular genres, mixing MMORPG and FPS elements more than any other game has done. However, if you've been immersed in only one of the 2 genres, then you may well find the compromises of the other a little frustrating at first. FPSs will need to get used to the fact that things like accuracy are only partly dependent on the player's point-and-click skill and rely much more on the stats sheet. And things like being able to walk through other characters might be an unfamiliar annoyance, and the plot and quests are all delivered up in longish text boxes. For RPGers, there is a strong emphasis on combat, and some of the quests we've seen so far indicate perhaps a thinner plot structure than you might have hoped. But that said, once you get used to this as something different, then it's quite fun to play through. And the RPG elements such as skill use are pretty easy to pick up. And there is some stuff that points to a much richer world. One of the early side quests is killing zombies on Tottenham Court Road, which increases your standing with the residents of that area. Now, standing isn't being used in gameplay at the moment, but could suggest a more political or social aspect to the game down the line. And for FPSs, what is generally lacking in the need for precision shooting skills may be made up for by around 100 awesome and moddable weapons, including some like sniper rifles, which will require skillful aiming from the player as well. And loot is all randomised to keep things balanced. This feature is being touted as one of the things that will make the game addictive, keeping people pushing on to kill yet another monster, just in case it drops something really fantastic. For me, this is not a great reason to continue playing a game. I'd much rather have a more compelling story, but it does seem to be a tried and tested model. As for the location, I have to say I was disappointed. Surely the whole point of using a real-world location is that people know and recognise it. And London, as an organically grown rather than grid-formed city, has a great geography for fantasy RPG, especially with this kind of resistance setting. But while Hellgate has captured well the moody feel of a somewhat Victorianised London, then apart from the odd landmark building, the locations are randomly generated. This has the advantage of keeping play, particularly combat, reasonably fresh and more balanced if you're online. But it does detract from the level of immersion that it is possible to achieve in RPG worlds. Also, the tiling quickly becomes repetitive and can be confusing when there are several Town's End pubs in the same few streets. Another gripe is that from what I can see in the demo, they haven't really done as much as they could have with the Underground. Basically, someone should make an MMORPG of Neverwhere. It is very cool to see red phone boxes and British road signs and police cars though. The NPCs can be a bit annoying. As well as the relevant game text, they all have some recorded dialogue, but the content is random and irrelevant, and the accent's almost offensively stupid.
I'm doing this as smartest as I can.
Also, Murmur, who is to guide you initially, is a cocky prick, and he kept wandering in front of my gun.
Well, aren't we just full of questions? And me, quick with the answers.
One thing I really am so impressed with is the monster design. They look gruesome, they move well, and there's a great range in the way the different creatures behave, attack and do damage. And this really does make combat interesting and varied. Watch out for the Ravagers, they are nasty little buggers. If you buy this game, you can play through around 40 hours of single-player storyline, or you can also play online in co-op. There's also an optional subscription service for the online game, which will let you out some extra content and goodies, as well as a PvP option. So in conclusion, this seems like a fairly good-looking game, with some decent stat-based combat and reasonable questing, but the dark, gloomy atmosphere and the cool setting really are the main selling points. It'll be interesting to see how the online community develops, and I think that's going to have a really big impact on how much enjoyment you get from the game. So it's definitely one to watch, but I don't think I need to be reaching for a clean pair of underoos just yet. You can check out our website, playdigital.tv, and have a look at some of our other shows over at channelflip.com.